Ever imagine building your own game world?
Yeah.
Not just playing in one, but actually creating it
Oh, wow.
from the ground up. We're diving into the tools that can make that happen.
Yeah.
The Unreal Development Kit,
Yeah.
or UDK,
Okay.
and the ever-evolving world of AI game engines.
Right.
Get ready, because things are about to get seriously meta.
It's like the difference between, ordering takeout
Yeah.
and like becoming a 5-star chef.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm following.
UDK gives you access to the same engine that powers those massive blockbuster games you know and love.
So instead of being handed a prepackaged experience,
Right.
you're stepping into the kitchen, ingredients at the ready.
Exactly.
Again.
And the best part, you don't need to be a coding genius to whip up something incredible.
Oh, really?
The article you sent mentions UDK's blueprint system, which is designed to be more visual.
Oh.
Imagine dragging and dropping pieces of game logic, creating complex systems without writing a single line of code.
Wait, seriously. That sounds like a game changer, especially for aspiring developers who might not have a coding background.
Yeah.
It's like instead of needing to speak fluent French,
Right.
you can order off the menu with pictures.
You've got it. It lowers the barrier to entry, allowing more people to turn those game ideas living rent-free in their heads into reality.
I like it. Okay, so we've got this powerful, user-friendly toolkit in UDK,
Right.
but then the article layers on AI game engines.
Yeah.
And suddenly, we're not just baking a cake, we're talking molecular gastronomy here.
It's true. AI is like adding a dash of magic to the mix.
Okay.
Remember playing games where the characters felt robotic and predictable?
Totally.
AI is changing that, allowing developers to create NPCs that behave in ways that are far more human-like.
Instead of encountering the same canned responses or predictable movements,
Right.
it's like interacting with characters who are actually thinking and reacting to your choices in the game.
Precisely. The article actually uses the example of Unreal Tournament,
Yeah.
that fast-paced first-person shooter.
Yeah.
They're saying the NPCs are now so advanced, thanks to AI, that they can strategize and adapt to player tactics on the fly, making for a much more dynamic and challenging gaming experience.
Wow, that's a far cry from the days of enemies just blindly following a set path. It makes the game world feel more alive, more responsive to what you, the player, are doing.
And that's just scratching the surface. We haven't even gotten to the really wild stuff yet.
Okay.
Like procedural generation.
Okay, I admit, that one's got me intrigued.
Yeah.
The article mentioned it briefly, but I need a little more than a sprinkle of explanation.
Sure.
What is this procedural generation sorcery?
Imagine a game world that builds itself,
Okay.
constantly evolving and changing,
Okay.
never the same twice.
Okay.
That's procedural generation in a nutshell.
Hold on. So instead of a team of developers meticulously designing every nook and cranny of a game world,
Yeah.
AI is stepping in and saying, hold my digital paintbrush.
You got it.
Wow.
And the article claims this isn't some far-off fantasy.
Yeah.
They specifically mention Unreal Tournament using procedural generation.
Oh, wow.
Each time you play, the layout of the level, the placement of objects, even the challenges you encounter could be completely different.
Wow, that completely changes the game, literally.
Right.
No more memorizing levels or using the same old tricks.
Exactly.
Every time you hit play, it's a brand new experience.
And that's just one example.
Oh, wow.
The article highlights how this technology can be used to generate everything from sprawling landscapes and intricate dungeons to unique characters and storylines.
Okay, my mind is officially trying to compute the vastness of this.
Right.
So we've gone from pre-designed levels to AI essentially co-creating the game world in real time.
Yeah.
It's like the difference between reading a book and stepping into a choose-your-own-adventure novel,
Yeah.
but on a massive digital scale.
Exactly.
Wow. This is huge EE. We're not just talking about choosing different endings anymore.
Right.
The entire story arc could shift depending on how you play.
Precisely. This is where AI starts to blur the line between developer and player,
Yeah.
making the gaming experience that much more immersive. And it's not just about making games more interesting.
Okay.
AI can also make them look and run better, too.
Really? How so?
Think about all the different devices people use to play games now.
Okay.
Powerful gaming, PCs, consoles, phones, tablets.
Right.
Optimizing a game to run smoothly across all that hardware is a huge challenge for developers.
Right. You don't want the game lagging on a phone or looking pixelated on a giant monitor.
Exactly. Well, the article talks about how AI can help with that optimization process,
Oh.
making sure the game looks and plays its best no matter what you're using.
Imagine smoother frame rates.
Yeah.
Sharper graphics, all thanks to AI working behind the scenes to fine-tune the experience for your specific setup.
Okay, so AI is making games smarter, more personalized,
Right.
and even optimizing them for different tech. It's kind of like this secret weapon,
Yeah.
working behind the scenes to enhance the entire gaming experience.
And here's the best part.
Okay.
You don't need to be a tech giant to get in on this. The article emphasizes how UDK and AI game engines are becoming more accessible to everyone.
Okay.
There are tons of resources out there for aspiring game developers, even if you're starting from scratch.
So what you're saying is this isn't just about big studios making even more impressive games.
Right.
It's about giving the power to anyone with a creative spark to build their own worlds.
Absolutely. Imagine a future where creating a video game is as common as making a YouTube video today.
Yep.
That's the potential we're talking about here.
It's pretty inspiring. It's like instead of just consuming games, we could all be part of creating them,
Right.
shaping these interactive experiences.
What's fascinating here is how this shift might change the whole culture of gaming.
Yeah, how so?
If the tools are more accessible,
Yeah.
we'll likely see a much wider range of voices and perspectives reflected in the games we play.
Right. We'll have games designed by people from all walks of life, telling all sorts of stories. It could be revolutionary.
And it's already happening.
Really?
There are tons of indie games out there pushing the boundaries of storytelling and game mechanics, all thanks to these increasingly accessible tools.
This is really making me want to dust off some of those old game ideas I had. Do you think someone with zero coding experience could actually create something playable with these tools?
The article seems to suggest so. It emphasizes how UDK, in particular, is designed with accessibility in mind.
Okay.
And remember that blueprint system we talked about?
Yeah.
That's all about making game design more visual and intuitive.
Right.
The article even mentions that Epic Games, the creators of UDK,
Yeah.
have a whole ecosystem of tutorials and support to help new developers find their feet.
Okay, you've convinced me I might have to do some more research after this. This Unreal Development Kit sounds like it could be the perfect gateway for someone like me who loves games but doesn't speak C as a second language.
It's a great place to start. And who knows?
Right.
Maybe you'll be the one creating the next gaming masterpiece that has everyone talking.
From the gamer to the game creator, I love it. But before we get too carried away daydreaming about pixelated worlds and epic quests, let's bring things back down to earth for a moment. We'd been, like, totally geeking out over all the awesome stuff UDK and AI game engines can do.
Yeah.
But are there, like, any potential downsides the article mentioned? It all sounds almost too good to be true.
You're right. The article does focus mainly on the positive aspects, but I think
Okay.
reading between the lines, there are some things to consider, about the implications of these technologies.
Okay, so, like, what? What should developers be mindful of as they, like, dive headfirst into this brave new world of AI-powered game development?
Well, one thing that stands out to me is the need for careful implementation,
Okay.
For example, while AI can create incredible dynamic content,
Right.
it's important that developers make sure it aligns with the overall vision and design of the game. Imagine like a procedurally generated quest line
Yeah.
that feels completely out of place or breaks the game's narrative flow.
Yeah.
That could
Yeah.
be super jarring for players.
It's like finding a neon billboard in the middle of a medieval fantasy world.
Exactly.
It might be impressive on a technical level, but it totally shatters the immersion.
Right, exactly. So it's not just about using AI for the sake of it,
Yeah.
but rather about integrating it seamlessly and thoughtfully into the gaming experience.
So a delicate dance between the magic of AI and the guiding hand of the developer.
Precisely. And it's not just about the technical side of things either.
Okay.
The article also hints at the evolving role of game designers in this new era.
What do you mean? How will their roles change?
Well, think about it. If AI is capable of generating levels, characters, even stories, what does that mean for the designers who traditionally handle those tasks?
Yeah.
It raises some intriguing questions about the future of game development as a profession.
So instead of being replaced by AI, game designers might need to adapt and learn how to leverage these tools effectively.
Exactly. It's less about being replaced and more about expanding their skill set.
Okay.
They'll become more like conductors, guiding the orchestra of AI to create truly harmonious and engaging gaming experiences.
That's a great way to put it. And who knows, this shift might even open up new avenues for creativity and innovation in game design.
Absolutely. It's an exciting time to be involved in the gaming industry, that's for sure. We're witnessing a paradigm shift,
Yeah.
and it's going to be fascinating to see how it all unfolds in the coming years.
This deep dive has been a real eye-opener. We've gone from the nuts and bolts of UDK and AI